Hello and welcome back to Witchy Shit and Manga Lit with Cartabus and Rawiyah. We are back again this week and we are going to be talking about all things creepy. See, for once, I know what we're doing. We're talking about creepy shit. We're talking about creepy dreams, creepy movies, creepy memories, um, and just all manner of like creepy shit. So I'm super excited. But let's start this episode off with what we've been doing, watching, or media consuming this week. So, Cartabus, what has that been for you?
Oh, goodness. I have actually consumed a significant amount of things now that I think about it. Um, like usual, and
Mm-hmm.
except for Wednesday, because I slept the entire day on Wednesday because I got strep throat during the week. One
Mm-hmm.
of I don't know if it was a coworker or one of my other friends, they're like, "You are always sick." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, my immune system is bad. Leave me alone." I can't help it. It's the way that I'm built. So, yes, I got strep, though no one else in the household has it, just me, even though it is a highly contagious bacterial disease.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
his immune system's like a fucking, I don't know, Superman. So he's like, "Hey, hey, I'm fine." Meanwhile, I'm like, "I'm dying, I'm dying." This is why I don't leave the house. But, besides that, I read a bunch of manga. I read more of Demon Slayer. I got through the entertainment arc. So now the last arc that I have before I'm past the show is going to be the Swordsmith Village. So
Mhm.
that'll be fun reading that because I will say reading the entertainment district arc was different than watching it. But I think it was partly because I had already seen it, so, like, I could envision the fight scenes a little bit better, but a lot of the panel dynamics were really, really good. Like, when they cut off the heads of both of the demons, it was a two-page splash for each of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really cool the way that they did it. Um, and also, like, I feel like in some ways Zenitsu was more cognizant in the comic. Like, I felt like
Mhm.
he was, like he was, like, spouting a bunch of, like, wise wisdom at people, like, the whole time, just, like,
Yeah.
dropping gems.
I have to watch it. I have to read it because I've heard that, and
Mhm.
also supposedly by the end of the series, he is awake.
Awake. Yeah.
Yeah, but and so he's super powerful without a mark too. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
Like,
he's a baddie.
because the rest of them do have the marks, like we were
Yeah.
seeing on a bunch of the other Hashira. I thi I the baby. Um,
My
yeah,
baby.
so, like, watching that and, like I forgot about the part uh Inosuke literally moved his organs so that he wouldn't be stabbed through the heart,
Mhm.
and they were
Mhm.
like, "How the fuck aren't you dead?" And he's like, "I can move my organs." It's like, "Really?"
Mhm. Mhm. Well, he could shift his bones like that to get
That's
through
true,
that
to get
tunnel.
through the tunnel. Just crack a crack.
He's just an animal. He's a grr animal.
Oh, I love him so much. Um, so I read all of that manga, and then I actually read a good portion of the, Tokyo Revengers manga because we've been watching that, and I was hoping to get a little bit ahead. We're way past where I was reading the manga in the show now because of watching it 2 days in a row. But,
Mhm.
like, um, I knew kind of up to a little bit up to the Bloody Halloween, arc from the manga, but the thing that I noticed most about the manga versus the anime was, and I told you about this, the manji, the symbol, is
Mhm.
all over the manga, like, it's everywhere, and I didn't realize, like, how prominent it was until, like, we're watching the show again, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I can see the edits." Like, I can
Mhm.
literally see how they edited it out, and, like, I know why they did it for the American audience, and I asked my friend who's in Britain if they edited it there, and she said, like, when the original run came out, they didn't, but, like, the n recent releases, they have. So
Mhm.
I don't know if it's, like, the influence of America or they always meant to edit it for European audiences as well, but, like
I feel like it would be like I feel like they would prioritize editing over for European audiences more than
I know,
American audience,
but
so I don't.
I also like again, I get why they did it, but they didn't do it at all in the manga. Like, it's literally everywhere in the manga, and I think it's because, Nazis don't read, so they're not so there's no way they would read the manga and latch on to anything, but, like, I'm like, "Yeah, I get why they're editing it for us, because if people saw that in the anime, they'd either think things about the kids or the wrong audience would become attached to them." So,
Mhm.
I get why they did it, but it's like a glaring edit to me now that I've seen it in the manga, like, all over the
Mhm.
place, which is weird, but we're gonna talk about that in a bit. Show-wise, I watched Sasaki and Miyano in English again because comfort show, and I haven't been feeling well, so it's so good. And then I started watching Given in English, and it's really good. It's like the
Mm.
voices are surprised, like all of them are good, which is something that I've noticed like with the English ones. It typically there's like one voice that I like, and then the rest of them can kick rocks. But with Sasaki and Miyano and Given, they're both like really good. So I don't know, maybe they're just doing the BLs good. And like the shonens can suck it.
Justice. Justice.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, man, if we mess up these BLs, the audience is gonna
They're gonna come for our throats.
they're gonna get us. 'Cause it's like, yeah, they are very passionate. Um, but yeah, so Given's really good so far. Though I think that they're gonna keep the songs in Japanese because the opening and the
Mhm.
ending are in Japanese, just like with Sasaki and Miyano. But like, I'm wondering if the actual performance song will be in Japanese. I'm honestly hoping they'll do it in English because I think that would be interesting if they actually dubbed over this
Mhm.
song, but like, I don't think they're going to with it. And then so we finished anime were we watching that we finished before this one? I don't remember. It wasn't important. We're watching the vending machine one right now.
Oh my gosh, how is that?
It is actually really cute. It's super adorable. Like, I did not like, I thought it was gonna be, like, a little silly, a little stupid, but, like, it's actually heartwarming how adorable it is.
Oh,
So,
nice.
like, 10 out of 10 recommend the vending machine anime. It's super wholesome. No, we were watching Ahsoka before. That's what we were watching. It wasn't an anime, so it didn't register to me. It was really good too.
Mm,
Um, and then I watched 2 of the Halloween movies this week as well. The first 2
mm,
with Jamie
mhm.
Lee Curtis. I thought I hadn't seen the second one until, like, the very last segment of it, and I'm like, "Oh, no, I've seen this one." Because
Mhm.
they set Michael Myers on fire, and I very distinctly remember him being on fire. And
Mm,
the visuals are quite striking, so, like, it's something you remember.
it's memorable.
Exactly. My tattoo is now in the itchy stage, and it has been sloughing skin, which is kind of gross, but, like, at the same time, as long as it stops being itchy, I'm happy with that.
Mhm.
I hate it being itchy. But what about you? What did you watch? Read.
I have watched and read basically nothing. Like, I'm preparing for this play that I'm in, so I've
Right.
been reading my lines and trying to commit them to memory. I thought I had it memorized, but I don't have what happens before or after my lines memorized, and I have to land my cues now.
Mm.
But I'm gonna land them. I'm gonna be like Simone Biles on this shit. I'm landing every jump. And so that's what's been going on. I watched Tokyo Revengers with you. And I think it's hilarious how there's things that you get sad at, and I'm just like, "Fuck these hoes! This never should have happened." So we're both invested in different ways.
Yeah, that's
You're
how
gonna
we
cry
work,
about
though.
it
Yeah,
and then get mad about it.
that is guaranteed. I am just going to cry about it. Like, I'm gonna cry about things that haven't even happened yet, and I like, but,
Mhm.
like, 'cause again, my friend has been, like, messaging me every time the new episode of Jujutsu Kaisen comes out, like, upset about whatever's happening. But
Mhm.
I've seen some clips. Nanami came back this last episode, and dear God. I am not okay from these clips. They are chef's kiss to the
Mhm.
animators, to, like, everything that I mean, he's, like, pulling hair and choking a bitch. That's what happens in the episode,
Oh,
and I'm like
wow.
like, "Oh, shit, okay."
I think I saw one image of that because I am back on Instagram for a little bit. I think I saw one image of that. What else have I been watching? After Tokyo Revengers, I definitely watched Yuri on Ice because that's my comfort show.
We
So
we needed the comfort. That's how I ended up watching another thing of Sasaki and Miyano, 'cause it's
totally
like,
needed it.
uh
I tried to watch it in English so that way I could fall asleep to it,
Mhm.
but I don't like the voice actor for Yuri or for Victor in English.
Oh, boo.
I don't like them. Like Victor does not sound as smooth in English as he sounds in Japanese. And Yuri sounds so much like an angry, petulant, like
I was like,
just
"Did they make him whiny?" 'Cause I feel like they do that
yeah, they made him
sometimes.
a bit no, they made him like dark whiny. Like they made him
Like bratty.
it's kind of like it's hard to explain. It's kind of like you know that like guy that hates you know what we're calling my ex now? Tragic Jesus.
Yes.
He gives tragic Jesus energy.
Oh, that sucks.
Mhm.
I was worried they were gonna do that with Mafiu in Given, but they didn't. The voice actor went gentle for him, and the guy who's doing Uenoyama
Mhm.
has made some really hilarious choices. Like, he's actually changed some of the dialogue to make it funnier.
Mhm.
I don't know if they just, like, edited it in English to make it just, like, slightly different, but, like, he's, like, cursing and stuff, which
Mhm.
is which is wild because it's not something like, the way that he's characterizing Uenoyama is a little bit different than the Japanese style, but in a way that I'm enjoying.
Mhm.
Though I will say, like, I think I like them evenly. I don't I still like the Japanese one slightly more just because I've seen it, like, 3 times.
Mhm.
So, I'm not quite at the Sasaki and Miyano stage where I like the English one better, but, it's passable, so I'm gonna watch it and see what happens.
Mhm. Let's see, has there been anything else? Oh, I went to the Kehinde Wiley exhibit at the De Young in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, I saw
Um,
the pic of you looking cute outside.
yes, I went outside. I actually went outside and did a thing. That was fun. And I was kind of the exhibit was Kehinde Wiley does black art of people, of African Americans and Africans in these poses that you normally see reserved for European drawings, like European art.
Mhm.
And some of them are completely massive. Like we're talking like 15 to 20 feet by 10 feet. Like it is massive. And he also does not just painting, but stained glass and sculpture. The stained glass
Ooh.
wasn't at the exhibit, but the sculpture was, and he depicts these bodies either in states of rest or in states that look like they have been that they've passed away,
Mm,
so are grieving. So there was one for um inspired by a child who's grieving in a hoodie and shoes and jeans, and a black child grieving, and he's grieving the death of I can't believe I'm forgetting his name now. I think his name was Oscar, the one who was killed at the Fruitvale BART station
mm,
in Oakland a few years ago. And while you're going through it, you're hearing audio from people who have experienced violence or grief or loss due to the hands of uh police.
mm.
And then at the end of the exhibit, you get to the end of the exhibit, and there is this massive bronze horse. Like, it is like, you know how museums have high ceilings?
Yeah.
This bitch is almost touching the ceiling. Like, I don't know how they got this bitch in there. It's so big.
Wow.
Like, there's this massive horse with this black man on the back of it. But instead of when he did earlier, where the black man is like kind of riding the horse in the same way that you see as a response to these Confederate
Mhm.
monuments that went up,
Yeah.
like um you see him laying on the back of the horse, like like he's been shot, like he's been overwhelmed by the system and overrun by the system. And this horse is still charging. This horse is like capitalism, it's like violence, it's like all these depictions, colonialism, and he's just on the wave of it, powerless in this way. But and how the art is done, it's so powerful. Like, I would say look him up. I got one of his art books, Kehinde Wiley, Kehindzee
Oh, okay.
Wiley.
I've seen
Hmm.
some of his paintings before, now that I'm
Yeah,
looking at
they
him.
are humongous. They are so huge and overwhelming and beautiful. The floral designs that he does on the backgrounds for his
Yeah.
paintings are
I was gonna
gorgeous.
say, I love that the usage of the background in
Mhm.
part of the design, because the design, like, leaks over into the
Yeah,
foreground based on the back. It's gorgeous. Yeah, some of them look huge. Wow,
yeah,
I love
it's
that blue
stunning.
one.
The colors are amazing. The
Yeah.
stories behind them are amazing. And it was just something, it was wonderful to be able to see it. It was a beautiful day. Like, the tea garden that it's set in, that whole like tea garden area was beautiful. But yeah, I'm gonna be processing that exhibit for a while. Like, I felt there were parts of the exhibit where I felt like, oh my God, I can't even breathe. Like, I'm having trouble breathing because of how overwhelming it was. So yeah, so that's what I consumed this week. That was all the art that I consumed. Oh, and Xena. I'm on season 3 of Xena. I think this is the end of season 3, and I'm about to start season 4 of Xena. So that's what's up. Oh, and I also finished last night. I had to watch it in 3 parts. The the new version of The Little Mermaid
Oh, yeah.
with Haley Bailey in it.
Mhm.
It was cute. It was cute. I like the people who are complaining that they changed the lyrics for Kiss the Girl are definitely on some whack crack, because the one line they really changed was him saying, like, just ask her. Like, ask to kiss the girl. Basically was like a consent line. Like,
And people are upset about that?
they were upset about it. They were like, you're
Ugh.
changing shit. They were just being angry because Haley Bailey's black. Haley Bailey's voice, gorgeous. Like,
Yeah, she's also
absolutely
gorgeous.
gorgeous. Yes,
Like,
she is gorgeous. Um, I like the film. I like the changes, some of the changes they made to it, but some of the changes were just an uncanny valley. Because flounder, they chose to do an actual flounder fish, and I'm just like, every time I saw him, I was
Why?
like, right? But
Just
Sebastian looked like a made up crab, like kind of like a crab, but a made up crab. Um,
yeah, because
so
he was a lobster in the
no,
in
no,
the
he was
ori
a crab.
he was?
Sebastian's always been a crab, yeah.
He looked like a lobster to me.
Let me tell you, I watched this tape recording so much. I had a VHS of The Little
Uh-huh.
Mermaid. I watched it so much until there was a line in the tape. You know how the tapes get the
Mhm.
little like line if you watch them too much on VHS, that had happened. I don't like some of the choices that they made in the film. Also, I can even understand why they were in love with each other. There was no like, they had chemistry. They had chemistry on screen.
Mhm.
Prince Eric and Ariel, they had chemistry on screen. But like the adult in me is like, you really gonna, you really gonna do this? You really gonna do this? This is okay for you? You really gonna? I guess. And I loved how they snuck in the whole thing of the actuality of the Little Mermaid. Because the real story is that she has to either get the prince to fall in love with her or she
Mhm.
has to kill him in order to come back. Like, yeah, she has to kill him and sprinkle his blood on her feet in order to get her fins back. That was the original story. But then she decided she couldn't kill him, even though she stood over the bed with a knife. And so she jumped into the ocean and turned into sea foam instead. But
Yeah.
Scuttle came through the window and was like, has she killed the prince yet? And Sebastian's like, kiss, kiss. And I was
Okay,
like,
that's
oh,
kind of awesome.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Because the original story is she had to kill him if he wouldn't. The original story is fucked. Like the when she
Yeah.
got her legs, she didn't feel like every step she took was like pins and needles.
Yeah.
Like the original story is fucked. But anyway, the adult in me was like, why? Why this person? Why? Why he's special? You pulled him out the water, but you don't know shit about this motherfucker actually. And you just
And
wet for him. You just wet for him. Like you don't even know anything about him.
maybe it's because he was, like, the first human she'd ever seen, because, like, if you look at it, all of the other mer people are gorgeous, so why would she choose
Why?
why would she choose a human? Because I've
Why?
seen the other mer people. They
Yeah.
are she did not need to choose that
Gorgeous.
man.
Gorgeous. She did not need to choose him. She did not need to choose him at all. But so yeah, but it was cute. The musical sequences were cute. It was super colorful. I liked the outfits and the costuming. Haley Bailey was great. She was acting when she had to be silent. She was acting through her face, through her eyes, through
Yeah.
her actions. Acting. Um
Acting.
so yeah, so that's everything that I consumed this week. That was everything I consumed. Creepy shit.
Well, do you wanna talk about Tokyo Revengers a little bit?
Oh my god. So I get mad.
Yeah,
So I
yeah, let's
get
get mad about it.
okay.
'Cause I don't know what's gonna happen next, I can't tell you, it's traumatizing. The show so far is just real traumatizing. I'm still like, I am upset about what happened with Baji. We're in season 3 and the thing, so we're not spoiling anybody, it doesn't matter. So I am upset about what happened with Baji. I don't care. I'm mad that he was like, I don't want, Kazutora to feel bad, so I'm gonna just seppuku myself, and it's like, "Really? Really?
Literally,
What the fuck?"
literally seppuku, literally, like through
With
the
a
stomach.
butterfly knife. What the hell? It was
He's like, you won't be responsible for my death.
I was literally worried about waking Kurt up because of how I was yelling at the TV. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"What the fuck?" Like, for the majority of that sequence, because
That fight scene
when
was intense.
the amount of times that Mikey got hit in the head, I could not handle.
Oh my
The
god.
The amount of times everybody got hit in the head, because he's not the only one that got hit, like, beamed with a freaking metal pole to the noggin. Because Kizuki got it good. Fucking hate Kizuki.
Hmm.
And, a couple other people got it too, and I was just like, "Damn." But I love Mikey. That little
I
psycho
love Mikey
is
too. He is a little psycho. He needs Draken. Like
he
they,
does.
he needs him so much in his life. I was super scared for Draken during this fight again. But I the fight, so much happened during that fight. This show is kind of like Hamlet and Macbeth in the way that it's like, what the fuck is happening here? Tragedy after tragedy after
Yes.
tragedy.
So much tragedy, and, like, every time we go to the future, it we end up having to see Akun die again, which is
Uh-huh.
horrifying, and the way that Hina died last time, I could not handle that.
Yeah.
That was some
Yeah.
bullshit.
The
That
way
was
she
some
pushed him from the car, she was like, I'm so happy you love me too. Now live. And it's like,
mm,
and the way he
yeah.
couldn't get that she was talking about him is like, bitch, she's wearing the clover necklace.
I'm sure in the past he broke up with her to protect her in some way, but
I
that
don't
shit
think
didn't
so.
work. You think he's
He's
just
too I don't
stupid?
think so. I think he was too stupid. I think he was too stupid. I think that there could, depending on how he does it
Mhm.
um in the past future shit happened. I could see her breaking up with him because he was not present for their relationship,
Yeah.
but I can also see him breaking up with her because he's just an idiot. Like, he's just an idiot. Like when he came to in that one scene where he has
Yeah.
Emma's like on top of him. Like he was conscious before, like
Yeah.
his, yeah, he was about to bone Emma, like he was about to be with Emma. Like he's an idiot. he's
Like, his past self was just fully 1000% an idiot, and
Yeah.
his future self isn't too much better, but he's kind, which is
Yes.
more mature for her, at least.
Yes. She
The
puts up with a lot. I dated someone who was in a gang for a little bit, twice. And I was like, I had to break up with them because I'm like, I can't have you bringing trouble to my door.
Right.
Like, if they can't find you and they know about me, they're going to find me.
It's true.
And they're going to find me. They're going to find my family because they can't get to your ass. Like, I ain't even worried about you. You get what you get. I'm worried about, I'm worried about me and mine. Right. And then he would come home. He would not home, but he would come back and he was like, yeah, I was in a fight. And I would see like his face is beat up and shit like that.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that is not okay.
Yeah.
That is not okay. You just fighting people, like, and they fighting you, and you lucky you ain't end up dead. Like, I can't be worried like this. I can't be concerned like this. So for Hina, I'm like, girl, girl, like,
Do you see how much of an idiot he is? Do you see it?
and you just like,
Because
oh, he was fighting again. Like, you shouldn't, like, you were fighting again, weren't you? Weren't you? And I'm just like, this bitch. We would have been like, you get one chance, straighten up and fly right. And if you can't, well then you flying crooked by yourself, cause I ain't gonna, this bastard, I he wanted to put me up in an apartment and pay for my college education. But I'm like, that's okay. I got a scholarship. I'm gonna get a scholarship. He's like, yeah, but I want to put you up in this place, like, da 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 da. I want to pay for your schooling, da 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 da. Like, and all I could think is, why? So I could be stable so you can have somebody who's stable to fall back on? Like, when your shit gets
Yeah.
twisted?
Like,
Or he just really wanted to.
what's gonna happen if you get unalived all of a sudden?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm depending on your ass and you go get shanked or shot
Or in jail.
or
Like,
incarcerated. What the fuck am I
yeah.
gonna do? I think he really wanted a good girl, but I told him, look, you need to not be this way. And I can't be with you if you're this way. So he took out all his gold teeth. He started going to school. He was a super senior, right? Which means he repeated senior year like 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like,
A
he was
super
like,
senior.
it's super. We called them. We called people like that a super senior. It was not okay. Like he was 21 in high school.
Mm,
He was
mm,
21
mm.
in high school. I was 16. I was 14 when we met. I was 16 when we started like seeing each other. The band teacher found out because that's how he had access to us because I went to an all girl high school. The
Mhm.
band teacher found out that we were dating and was like, I'm gonna tell your mama. He was like, you need to stop dating this person. I'm like, what the fuck you gonna do? You ain't gonna stop me from loving who I love. It. He's like, I'm gonna tell your mama. And I was like, yo, dude, we gotta break up.
That
So
band teacher was correct though.
he was correct. He was right. He was right. But I didn't expect him to pull out the big guns like that. He's
He
just
was
like, I'm gonna tell your
concerned
mom.
about you. That's
He was. He was. And when we broke up, he like begged me not to break up with him. And I was like, dude, like you in a gang. He's like, I left the gang. I'm like, I know, but like I can't my mom gonna kick my ass. Like I can't be like, Mama, I love him. Like it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. And he then became a stripper on Bourbon Street, and this is all in New Orleans. He then became a stripper, and his name was Novocaine. And I'm like, that is a stupid name. That's that's something they put on your gums so you don't feel shit. Like that is like a dull ass shit. And he was like, no, it means the new cocaine. Like I'm so like you can get hooked on me, and I'm like, Novocaine is a stupid name. It's stupid. It's always going to be stupid. It's stupid now. It's going to be stupid then. And you're going to look back on this moment and cringe. Not because you became a stripper, but because your name was Novocaine. And
yeah, it wouldn't yeah, maybe Nouveau Cane would be no, that's still stupid.
Novocaine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's still super, super stupid, never
Novocaine.
mind.
The Nouveau makes it fancy. It makes it fancy. It makes it
It's
fancy.
like, "Guys, en français, it's fine."
Yeah. But that was that dude. And the other one was a girl, and she would come and beat up, and she's like, I'm gonna have to go do this fight because like we're gonna fight because someone else got in the fight. And I'm like, that don't make no sense to me. She sent me to the chapel crying once because I was like so scared for her. I was crying, and a nun came in and was like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, someone that I love is not doing well and they're in danger. And the nun was like, okay, like, how is this? Basically, the nun was like, do you want to be with someone who's putting themselves in danger? And I was like, no, I don't. And then but because I was young, I was like, okay, like, this is okay. This is fine. Like, I can change them. Young
Oh,
Virgo.
no.
I could, I could change them. This is okay. I could
He
not. Just FYI, follow up.
Yeah,
I could
FYI
not.
to everyone, um, someone has to be willing to change
Hmm.
and willing to work with you if they're going to change. If you see someone and they're like, "Oh, they're broken, I can change them," rethink that, please.
Hmm. My gangster guy was willing to change, but like But again, I was what, 16, he was 21,
Yeah,
my mom was gonna kick my ass.
that was a bad dynamic in
That was
general.
yeah, 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 it was not. He was a super senior, I was, like, in AP English, like, it was not
It's not meant to be.
that was not meant to be.
He was
One of my
probably thinking
friends
it
was
was a
literally
Romeo and Juliet situation, and you're like,
I
"Mm."
was! Oh my god! I was! I was like, "They don't want us to be together," but at the same time, I was like, "I can't be with you because you're calling me to call another number for you to see if it's a legit number. Like, now you're involving me." Somehow he
Yeah.
was having me call people and,
Mhm.
like, leave messages. I'm like, "You're involving me in your gang activity," and he was just selling weed, but back then, weed was a big thing. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking about 1998.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah. That would've gotten you in trouble too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
and I
would've
was like, "I
really gotten
can't."
you in trouble.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so while I'm like, "Hina, you are, like, being so sweet and so considerate because this guy is just he got you out all hours of the night."
Oh my god. Yeah, after the festival, when literally he was covered in blood and they almost lost Draken, she and Emma both should have rethought their situation.
Yes.
Should have
They're like,
rethought
"But
their
no, that's my
situation.
man.
Yeah.
That's my man. Imma stand by him. Mhm, that's my man."
And if you
Mhm.
think about it, like, they're in middle school, so they really
Yes.
don't know any better. Like, they are super young and very stupid. So oh,
Mhm.
but, like, that makes me wanna protect them even more. I'm like, "Oh my god, they're
You wanna protect
babies."
them. I wanna slap them all. Like, I wanna be like, "Look, child, this is a moment. This is a moment." And you can have your little gang without having to, like, fight for power over anything. Like, just hang out together. Just hang out. Just chill. Ride your motorcycles, hang out, like,
The
be
way
who
that
you be.
Takemichi was with his friends before they joined Toman,
Yeah.
basically.
But
But
even then,
god,
they thought they was gonna be a gang too. They thought they were hot shit.
they were ready to fight people, and it's like, "Oh, you're adorable. Now stop.
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
stop. Stop,
Just
please."
stop. Just stop. So yeah, I for all say having have said all that, I really love the show and it's really making me anxious. Like it's really good. The art's really good. The whole like my brain, the only thing that knocks me out of it is my brain going, it does not have to be this way. And that's because I get knocked out of it because I'm so emotionally invested that
Yeah.
I want to figure out ways for resolution where everyone lives. But they have made it so convoluted now that if I feel like if I try to explain it to people without them having seen it, they're gonna be like, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Who's
This is
that?"
one of those shows that you really have to, because, like, 1, there's, like, a billion characters for no reason,
Mhm.
and 2, like, the evil ones are really fucking evil.
They're
Like,
super evil.
oh my god, Kizuki is so evil, like, I
So
hate him
evil.
so much,
And I
and
bet he's the one who knows Takamichi's
I
time
bet he
traveling.
does. Yeah, because like, Takamichi's holding everything together with the power of friendship and a prayer, and
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
but, like, he's so lucky at the same time, the way that, like, he accidentally fixes everything, like, the shit in his hair, that one episode.
Literally. Literally. Like that's not like a euphemism for something. There was literal
No,
shit in
he
his hair.
and he, like, fixed a problem between 2 people by having just shit in his hair by accident, and everybody laughed and made up. And, like, that kind of thing keeps happening to him, like, the charm that Baji was carrying around falling out of his pocket at just the right time so Mikey could see it. and be like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this is the picture of us when we first started. Look, we were kids." And it's like, "Yeah, you were 12 and now you're
Mhm.
15. It's not that much different."
Mhm.
But I mean, I guess when you're that age, 3 years is a really
3
long
years is a huge
time.
thing. It's
Yeah.
like a fifth of your life. Like, when you're 15, it's like a fifth of your life. Wait, is it 3 yeah, fifth, 5,
No, that
3
would be 5
yes,
years.
math.
So,
Yeah.
close.
A third would be 5 years. A third would be 5 years. Yeah.
So, almost a fifth of your life. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it seems like a really long time, and, like, he's super grown now, but it's like, yeah, that's just 'cause you're fighting all the time,
Mhm.
so you feel super grown. But honestly, at the same time, the satisfaction I get when he kicks someone in the head.
Oh my god, so good. He kicked Takamichi, but you could see that he held back.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to actually hurt Takamichi, he was just trying to stop him, while with Kazutora, he's like, "I'm knocking you the fuck out with one kick right now."
Mhm.
And he did. He knocked him into the ground.
He did.
But
Butt was twitching, ass in the air twitching. That was that was hilarious to me. I'm like y'all had to make his ass twitch
yeah,
too? Y'all had to make his ass twitch too.
they did.
Mhm.
Oh, man. Yeah, but I love the art for it, the art is so good. The art in the
Mhm.
manga is even better too. Like, I redrew
Mm.
that one picture of Mikey, but I didn't do it justice, like, it's so good. The
Mm.
author is very good at drawing characters. So, I hope that we can continue watching the next few episodes and then the next season after without,
Yes, we will.
without having anxiety attacks the entire
Well,
time.
no, I'm gonna have an anxiety attack during it because I know there's a season 3. So, like, we're watching season 2, and I'm like, this is
It's
they're
not
gonna
the
have to
end.
do more. It's not the end. It's not
It's
the end.
not the end.
I feel like about it, like, especially with that last episode with Hina in the car,
Mhm.
I felt about it the same way I felt watching City of Angels, that Meg Ryan, whatever the fuck movie where
So,
he came.
for some reason, that one made me laugh, and I think it's because I was in the theater with my friends, and we were, like, teenagers and stupid at the time.
Uh-huh.
So, like, at that one part where God, it was the car crash part.
Yes.
We
Yes, that's what
started
I'm coming to.
we started laughing so hard, and I don't
Oh
remember
my
why.
god. Oh my
No,
god.
no, because my friend right when that happened, my friend was like, "Hate it when that happens." And we
Oh,
just
that is
lost it.
fucking hilarious. Look, when that happened, I was in a movie theater and I was like, why is the movie still going? Why is the movie still going? Why is she riding her bike down this road? Why is she like closing her eyes? What the fuck? What the fuck? And then the truck came and hit her ass. And I'm like, I knew it. I knew something was going to happen. And that's how I feel about Hina. Whenever we go to the present and see Hina, I'm like, we went to the present and saw Hina that one time. I'm like, this bitch is Meg Ryan. This is going to be a Meg Ryan moment.
Well, at
And
least you were prepared.
yeah, you're right. I was prepared for it.
You're like, "There is way too much of the show left for her to be alive at
For
the
her
end
to
of
be
this
alive, that's
episode."
it. That's it. Can't happen. Can't happen. I laughed during the Titanic. Um,
Was it when
because
that guy flipped off the tail of in that
you
one
know what?
part?
I don't even remember what triggered the laughter. I don't think it was even anything on the screen because I was sitting with two people who had already seen the movie like 3
Mhm.
times each in the movie
Yeah.
theater. And they're like, "We're going to put you in the middle for the last third because you're going to need emotional support." And I'm like, "All
Okay.
right, okay, fine." So they put me in the middle and they're on either side of me bawling their eyes out.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Bitch, you've seen this like 3, 4 times. How how are you still crying like this over these people like this?" And I
So that
start laughing, and this woman in front of me, this old woman turns around and looks at me like, "How dare you?" And then I start laughing even harder.
So that was me. I was the one crying, for all I think I saw it, like, 5 times in the theater with one of my
Uh-huh.
friends, because I was in middle school, and I was hormonal and stupid. City of Angels came out when I was in high school, so I was, stupid in a different way, and that's why we ended up laughing for that one. Just oh, man, Vina just going hate it when that happens when she gets completely taken out by a truck. We lost it, and everybody was
Yeah.
mad at us. We lost
It was a perfect moment. It was a perfect moment. If I would have been there in that theater, I would have laughed with y'all. If I would have heard that, would have been gone. No chances. KO.
it was
KO.
the perfect timing. It was the perfect timing. Uh, yeah. So, but, my instinct for things like that is to get upset and cry. Like,
Mhm.
I am gonna be, like, inconsolable for the majority of Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. Just warning you right now. We're gonna be on the phone, you're gonna be, like, screaming at the TV, and I'm gonna be just sobbing for
Mhm.
the whole
I'm gonna
time.
have moments of rage.
Every single episode, I'm going to be sobbing, and then you're gonna be, like, just real mad about everything happening.
Mhm. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
That's why I'm like, we should be on the phone while we're watching, though, 'cause I I want to hear your reactions to the
All
things
right, bet.
happen.
All right. We'll be on the phone. We'll get through it together.
We're gonna watch it 3 days in a row because
Okay.
we're just gonna watch the entire. Because like, literally, it's gonna be cliffhanger after cliffhanger after cliffhanger. We're not gonna be able to
Okay.
do a week in between. I
All right.
promise.
I'm down. I'm down. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm down. We got this. We got this. It's good.
Like, it's to the point that I'm like, "Should I take a day off?"
Look, if you want to roll like that, I'm down. I just need to gather my food like a chipmunk and I'm there.
Right?
Like,
Oh, like, I am not emotionally prepared for it, and I know
mm-hmm.
what's going to happen. So, like, I've seen some of the clips. The clips are just they're on point, they're excellent. Like, the animation is gonna be spot on delicious. We're in for a treat, but the story is going to completely destroy me.
Mm-hmm.
Fully prepared for it. No, I'm not gonna be prepared. It's gonna be
Not at
awful.
all. Not at all. I'm
But
ready for the
creepy
roller
stuff.
coaster.
Oh,
I'm
yeah. Oh,
like,
are
you
you?
never know.
I'm excited for you, but I also feel like you're going to be very mad at me.
It's fine. It's fine. You've got me watching Tokyo Revengers. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna be watching Yuri on Ice like 5 more times. Like, it's okay. It's okay.
Like,
It's okay.
you might need Yoshiro Biori after this
I
one.
might, I might. Oh, that show so gentle. I love it.
Right?
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
So creepy stuff.
creepy stuff. What was your intro to horror movies? Like, what was your
I'm trying to
first?
think because some horror movies didn't read as horror movies to me at first, but I think the first one I really saw was Aliens or Alien.
So, for me, I consider Alien more of the sci-fi horror. It doesn't trigger the horror for me. I don't
Okay,
know
well then
why.
it was The Ring.
Oh, fuck that movie.
Ring. It was the fucking Ring. I was 21 years old. I had just moved to California from
Mhm.
Colorado where I lived before after I lived in New Orleans. And I watched The Ring. Like, people were like, let's go watch a scary movie. I knew nothing about it whatsoever. I hadn't seen a preview or anything. We
Mhm.
went to that fucking movie. I was fucked up. Like, I was convinced that bitch didn't call me because there was such a backlog of people watching the movie that she was like, I have a backlog, but don't worry, honey. I will get to you soon. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I had a circular basket that I use for laundry, I got rid of that bitch and got a square one. To this day, when I see like someone puts down a cup and there's a circle underneath it, I will immediately wipe the table. Like I I had VHSs of tapes that I knew that I had recorded that I didn't want to watch. Like The Ring fucked me up. It fucked me up. It fucked me up. It fucked me up. Oh no, wait, I saw the Blair Witch. I did. Okay, so maybe it was the Blair Witch before, but the one that I really, really like core struck,
Yeah.
fucked, The Ring. The Ring. What
I'm
about
gonna
you?
agree with that. So, like, I've watched some horror way back when. So, like, my dad took me to see Aliens 3 when I was 10,
Mhm.
and my mom yelled at him for a very long time for that. It's like, "How can you take her to see that?" And he's like, "It's fine. It's fine." Meanwhile, I'm like, "I think something bad happened to the dog." This is the only thing I can remember, 'cause I remember the movie was very dark red. It was dark red a lot, and it was because
Mhm.
I think my dad was hiding my face for a significant portion
Oh.
of the movie, because after watching it again recently, I'm like, "This movie's gory as shit." How how did my dad take me to see this when I was 10? Um, it's 'cause he wanted to see it, and he had me for the day because my mom was off running errands, so he took me to the movies. That's what happened. Um, so that was probably my first experience, but like I said, I consider those sci-fi horror instead. But I mean, I guess it kind of counts because it is that series is kind of gory. Then I saw Poltergeist at a uh, like a sleepover. We watched Poltergeist 1 and 2. Poltergeist 2 is fucking scary, and the reason
Oh, I
it's
gotta
fucking
watch it then.
scary the
Wait, is that the
reason
one with
it's
the mirrors?
no, it's the one with the old priest. You're thinking
I
Poltergeist
wiped that
3.
from my mind.
Yeah, Poltergeist 2 involves this old priest, and the reason why it's
Is that with
scary,
the tree?
I think the tree.
There was a tree with all these souls stuck in it.
That may yes, yes, because that's the one that involved, like, like a native ritual type of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was the second one, and, the reason why it was so scary, I found out later, is because the actor who played the creepy priest was literally dying during the filming of the movie. He had advanced cancer. So, like,
Oh,
when you're
wow.
watching him be like a walking corpse, it wasn't makeup, it's because he was actually dying while filming the movie. And
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So after finding that out, I'm like, "Holy shit, no wonder that one scared me so bad."
Mhm.
Because, like, I could literally tell that the man was dying while, like, scaring
Mhm.
the little girl. Oh my god, yeah, that one was scary, and then in high school, we went to go see The Haunting. Do you remember that one with Catherine Zeta-Jones and them?
And what's his nuts with the nose? What is his name? Oh
No,
my
I know who
god.
you're
Or
talking.
was that The Haunting of Hill House?
No, it wasn't The Haunting of Hill. I'm specifically talking about The Haunting. If you
I
look
did
it
see that
up,
one. I
yeah,
remember Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I think it came out in 2099, somewhere around then. I'm
But
looking
that
it up
one
right
didn't
now.
scare like that one didn't
It wasn't
scare
scary.
me.
Like, that's what told me that I could actually watch horror and not be scared. And also I was in Chicago in a live it was 99. It was 99 and it
Mhm.
had Catherine Zeta-Jones and Liam Neeson. So that's and Owen Wilson and Lily
That's
Taylor.
what I'm thinking about when I say the nose, like Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson Owen Wilson is the guy with the nose. Yes, it had the guy with the nose in it. The So, yeah, I really enjoyed that one because, like I said, we had a live audience in Chicago, so, like, the girls behind us were hilarious. We're sitting
Mhm.
there watching it, and this girl behind me is like, Oh, hell no. I'd get my black ass out of that house. Stupid white girl.
Yes, it
I'm
wouldn't
like,
wouldn't be wouldn't be there. Wouldn't be there. I'm gonna say that I loved growing up in New Orleans. I got to have a lot of experiences in movie theaters,
mhm.
like where there were spaces where white people just didn't go.
Yeah.
And that's because they were scared of black people. So we
Mhm.
had whole movie theaters that were just experiences of watching movies. And it was there was always commentary with the
And it's
movie.
the best. It's the absolute
It's
best. Like, there
it
were
is the
certain movie
best.
theaters in town that I would specifically go to get a live audience like that for movies
Mhm.
because I love it so much. I love it so much. Um, yeah, so
I want to
that
see
was
Halloween H2O in a theater like that.
oh my god, that was probably
It was
amazing.
the best. I think there was the one with was it L no, it wasn't LL Cool J, it was Busta Rhymes, I think.
I
Was it
yes,
Busta Rhymes?
I think it was. I'm gonna look that up now.
Oh
Uh,
my god. It was fucking hilarious. Like, yeah. Yeah. I think it was Busta Rhymes. I just remember
uh,
being like, "Oh, there's a black person in a horror movie," and he
no, it was
lives
LL
through
Cool
the
J.
end. It was LL Cool J?
It was LL
And
Cool
he
J.
lives through the end, just like he lived in,
That's
The Deep Blue Sea.
yes.
Yeah.
I was actually mad. So we were watching all the Freddy movies recently, and in the
Mhm.
3rd one with Dream Warriors, um, the Kincaid, who was the black guy, lasted till the end of the 3rd one and,
Mhm.
like, really helped out and, like, beat the crap out of Freddy because his dream power was being strong. And then in the 4th one, he was the first one to go, and I was like, "God damn it. What are
Mm.
y'all doing? I'm mad about this." 'Cause
Mm.
especially since, like, his dog was the one helping them at first, and then his dog was the one that resurrected Freddy. I'm like, "Get your dog. He's pissing
No!
fire over here." Yeah. The dog
No!
literally peed fire, though. It was ridiculous. I highly recommend that movie.
Alright, I have to watch I've watched all of the Pinhead movies, but I have not watched all of the Freddy Kruegers.
Different, different directors for that. So the
Mhm.
Hellraiser movies, are Clive Barker. And why I
Mhm.
love Clive Barker is extremely gay. So, if you are watching the Hellraiser movies, you can kinda tell that, like, they're a little
Yes.
gay and a little kinky, and that
Yes.
that is because of who he is as a person. Wes Craven is different. Wes Craven's the one who did all the Freddy movies, but Wes Craven is also the one who did, Vampire in Brooklyn, which I
Yeah,
now
which I
want to
have to
see.
watch because Eddie Murphy in some of his finest moments.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wanna so I'm gonna watch that one soon. And then, we watched the Halloween movies this past week, the first 2, and like I said, I'm excited that we're gonna watch the 3rd one this week because the 3rd one is my absolute favorite. It's the one that does not involve Michael Myers at all. It doesn't even really count
The
as a
body
Halloween
hopping, the
movie.
body jumping, is that the one?
No. It's the one with the masks that eat children's faces, and then they murder their
What?
families. Yeah.
What? I
So
haven't heard of that one.
so Halloween 3 is called Season of the Witch, and the plot of it is a bunch of witches made a company to make these like rubber Halloween masks. And when kids put them on and watch a TV program that is made specifically to activate the masks, it melts into the kids' faces. They murder their entire family and then it eats their face and they die. So it is a
Whoa.
and they're doing it to like
That is fucked up.
yeah, and like it's one of those that like you think they're gonna solve it by the end, but they don't. And
Oh,
there's
that's
just
great.
a
I love it.
wholesale slaughter. It's
I love it.
fantastic. 10 out of 10 recommend, and the jingle is so catchy, you will like it's an earworm. So it's
Mhm.
they do happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock. And they do that the entire time. So that is the theme song for the mask, like the commercial,
Mhm.
and you just hear it the whole time. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's great. I love it so
Certain
much.
certain horror movies fuck up music for me. Jeepers Creepers fucked up Jeepers Creepers for me. Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers
Mhm.
Creepers, where'd you get those? So the movie Jeepers Creepers, whenever I hear that song, I'm like, turn that shit off.
So, I will not watch any of the Jeepers Creepers movies because the creator
Uh
is a
oh.
pedophile.
Ah, shit, really?
Yeah. Yeah, he's on it for, like, fucking a 15-year-old or something, so and they just let him keep making
Oh,
movies.
oh, that is
Yeah,
awful.
yeah, so he's disgusting and has been also gotten, like if you look at interviews, like, people that have made the movies with him talk about how he harasses everyone, so it's
Oh, that's gross. That's really
yeah,
awful.
so that one
Um,
gets binned.
so like after creepy movies, what's a creepy what is a creepy moment that you've had?
I honestly haven't had that many creepy moments. I've had, like, fun times in, like, horror experiences. So we went to remember Winchester House?
Yes.
They had a nighttime, flashlight tour that you could do
Mhm.
and a corn maze outside. So we went with Ron and Lily one time to go do that ages ago, and that was really fun. Though Lily couldn't handle the corn maze because there was a guy with a chainsaw just chasing people around. Meanwhile, I'm just like, "Wee! This is fun. I like being chased." And she's like, "I hate this. Can we leave?" And I get it, I get it. So most of my, like, creepy well, actually, one time we were watching, which one was it? I wanna say it was Noroi, which means
Mhm.
curse in Japanese. It's a movie about a curse, and
Mhm.
it's honestly one of the creepier ones. So, like, I like certain found footage type movies. Uh, like, I like the VHS movies. Those are really
Those
fucked
are
up.
good. Yeah.
But, like, I don't like all of like, I don't like Blair Witch, I don't like any of those or,
Mhm.
Paranormal Activity, just it
It's
holds no
Mhm.
interest to me, basically. So, if
Mhm.
it's if I tell you a found footage movie is good, it's excellent because I
Mhm.
just I don't like found footage movies typically. So, that Noroi is a really good one, and while we were watching it, something fell over in the bathroom, and it scared the crap out of me
Mm.
because, like, I've got headphones on, I'm watching the movie, and then all of a sudden I hear this ka-thunk from, like, across the house. Creepy. But
Have
yeah,
you
like,
seen The Creep?
the
That's a
creep.
found footage one.
No, I
That one was
haven't.
good. That one was good.
Okay.
It's psychological horror.
Yeah, most of the found footage ones that I like are Asian.
Mhm.
So, the Noroi was good, the Incantation, which is Chinese, was good, and then there's an asylum one called, like, Asylum 419 or something, it's
Mhm.
Korean, and that one is so fucked up. It's
Okay, I'm
really
looking it up
good.
right now.
Like, I think for me, a lot of it's gonna be books and movies, because like, one of the ones that always fucked me up, and I think we watched it together, was, Session 9.
That was the one where they had the tape recordings?
Yes, and they were, like,
Yeah.
cleaning out an old abandoned asylum,
Yep.
and, like, it seemed like a possession one, but it also could have been, like, a multiple personalities one. It was really good.
That was good. That was good. I I've had creepy experiences all my life. Like I've had creepy experiences, like things moving around me, like voices, like all other shit. Bless you.
I'm muted in time.
Yes, I'm like you made a whole silent sneeze. Like how did that work?
Because I'm loud when I sneeze and I don't want to wreck the audio.
So my biggest like creepy moment, like one, there's two of them. One was as a child, we had this rocking chair, and I had this doll that I named Afton, and Afton was in the chair, and I'm sitting there playing with my blocks, and she turns her head and looks at me, and the rocking chair starts to rock, and I run out the fucking room.
Oh shit. You actually unlocked a core memory for me because I used to go stay over at one of my friends' houses and she had a Teddy
Mhm.
Ruxpin.
Oh, did it have a demon
And
voice?
that Teddy Ruxpin would just start up on its own
Mhm.
sometimes. And yeah, the voice was real slow sometimes. It was
Mhm.
creepy as that's why like
Yeah.
I never asked my parents for a Teddy Ruxpin ever because I'm like, no.
Mhm.
They're
Mhm.
scary. And now that
But
I think about it, my grandmother's house freaked me out a little bit. And it was because the back room that I would stay in, my dad's mom, I want to caveat that because I would stay at my mom's house too. And I had lost both of my grandpas by the time I was in 4th grade. So like
mhm.
I would basically staying with my grandma whenever I would go to visit either of them. And my dad's mom, like my dad's dad died when I was 3. So like literally every time we went to go visit her, it was, you know, when my parents were there, I would stay in the living room with all the fucking clocks because she had like 9 chime clocks.
Uh-huh.
I have one of them now. I have a grandfather clock in the front room
Oh, wow.
with all the chimes. It is not connected. We do not we do not have the
Mhm.
clock functioning at the moment, but I could if I wanted to. I just don't want to
Mhm.
deal with the noise because they're very loud and we have a tiny house. So someday if I ever have a house with a foyer, I will put that clock in the
Foyer.
foyer. But I didn't like staying in the back room. And I realize now that the reason I didn't like staying in the back room is because it was fucking haunted. Um, I I didn't realize at the time because I was a kid and I didn't have a full sense of what the feelings I was having were, other
Mhm.
than that I was just very uncomfortable in the back room. But like I would get dreams and shit while in the back room. I would
Mhm.
dream of the back room when I was not in the back room.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that back room was haunted as shit, and that's where I would end up staying. Though there was a really nice lace comforter that she had, and I'm pretty sure she made it because my grandma was the artist of the family. I take after her a lot, except I'm not obsessed with unicorns. Like I have so much unicorn tchotchkes because of that woman. And but I was sad as a kid because I was obsessed with unicorns as a kid because I was obsessed with the last unicorn movie because I realized that my ass is obsessed with depressive media now that I think about it because all of my favorite things are so traumatic because like when I was a
Mhm.
kid
Never
my
ending
two
story.
my two favorite movies were Neverending Story and The Last Unicorn, which are both very fucked up if you watch them now.
Mhm.
And Land Before Time, where
Land
Littlefoot's
Before
mom
Time. Shit, I had a Land Before Time blanket, and
I had
like
like
when
3
Littlefoot
Littlefoot
mother.
dolls. Yeah.
Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. That movie. Oh.
Oh, All
Oh.
Dogs Go to Heaven?
I
That
love
one's
that
real
movie, and it
fucked
was
up.
sad. Yeah. I
Se
love that movie.
Secret of Nim? Super fucked up.
That was one of my favorites too. It was super fucked. Oh, that one was super
That
fucked up.
one's super fucked up. Like, she's like a single mom trying to save her children, and everybody's like, "Fuck you."
And
Like
right, and she's trying to get
the
it done.
evil rat. Yeah.
She finds out some shit about her husband was a secret
Uh-huh.
lab rat,
Yeah.
and this necklace has some magical powers, but all her kids almost drown in mud.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and then while she's busy saving her kids, like the old wise man gets murked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, super fucked up. So I'm just like I'm watching all this stuff and I'm like, "Oh, well that explains my taste in things now."
Mm-hmm.
'Cause like, my favorite stuff is all like tragic as shit for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's super goofy. I have 2 modes and that's it. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
with horror movies, I love horror movies, but like they rarely scare me. So when something does scare me, I like make super super note of it that like I'm like, "Oh, this one kind of fucked me up a little bit."
Mm-hmm.
Or this one fucked me up a lot. I can't sleep now. The Ring was the first one that really fucked me up besides,
Yeah.
Poltergeist 2, because Poltergeist 2 was jacked the fuck up. It was so bad. Um, which again, watch it, but watch that old man. He's completely dying while he's on
Mm.
screen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I like all the found footage ones. I'm trying to think if there's any, like, non-found footage ones that messed me up, and not really, like, the possession ones don't scare me all that much.
Oh, they used to scare me. They used to scare me, but I was a good little Catholic girl for so long.
Mhm.
But now they don't. Now they don't affect me like they used to. Oh my God, there's this one horror movie with Nicolas Cage. It is not The Wicker Man. It's like he goes to this Chuck E. Cheese
Yeah,
place.
it's something Willie's Wilderness or something like that. Let me
Uh
look it up,
huh.
but I love that one so much. It's so funny.
Super recommend that one. Super recommend that one.
I also recommend his color one. Um,
The Color of Void, the Void of something. That one was messed up too, in a way.
well,
And while
yeah,
this
because
movie,
it was,
Lovecraft,
Cthulhian, yeah, it was
yeah,
Lovecraftian. So, that
there
one.
was another one that really messed me up for a while. I can't remember it.
Willy's Wonderland is
Willy's Wonderland.
that's that
Watch it,
one.
watch it. And while this one isn't a horror movie, it kind of became a psychological horror for me watching it. Mother.
Mother is so fucked up.
Mhm.
Mother is so fucked up. Color of Space is the other Nick Cage one.
Color of Space.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was. Whew. When the mother and the son melded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently Mandy is another one that he's in that's really scary. I
Oh,
haven't
I
seen
have
it
that
yet
on my
though.
list. Mandy is about
I wanna watch it.
his girlfriend Mandy gets
Mhm.
killed and he's like avenging her. But it's one of those movies that they didn't advertise as a horror movie. You think it's just a straight up revenge flick, and then there are all these supernatural elements that get in on it. Like I think I rented that on Vudu, and you reminded me because I have some movies that I rented on a 30-day, and I haven't even looked at them yet. So I might be watching Mandy tonight because I love me some Nicolas Cage. He's so wild. He
He's
just
so
plays
wild.
Nicolas Cage in every movie he plays. He's like Nicolas Cage.
I still like, Face Off is still my favorite one that he ever did though, because he
Face
is
Off is
so
so
unhinged in
stupid.
that
It's so
one.
good.
He's so
It's
unhinged.
so
Like,
good.
every meme you see of Nicolas Cage is probably from Face Off.
God, it's so good. He's so good. So yeah, what other creepy things have happened? I don't know. There's
Ha
creepy shit happens all the time that I don't even register that it's creepy anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I just can feel when a place is haunted, which I suppose would be
Mhm.
creepy for most people, but I've gotten so used to it that I'm just like, "Oh, there's a ghost. Okay,
Mhm.
cool." Like,
I
it doesn't
remember when
count as
I
creepy to me. I'm just like, "Oh, there's dead people here, it's
mhm.
fine."
I went home to in New Orleans to visit my mom when I was still talking to her. And I get there and I go into my room and I can instantly smell my grandmother. And I'm like, "Yo, did you have grandma stuff in my room?" Which is like, I wasn't there, so I would be fine. And she's like, "No, no, I never had grandma stuff in your room. Like, her stuff was in storage." Da, 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 da. And I'm like, "Are you sure you never put anything of her stuff in my room? Because I can smell her." And when I went to sleep that night, my grandmother, who was murdered, was like trying to give me information about her murder. And I was like, "I don't want it. I don't want anything. I don't want to know what happened at all. You was mean to me while you was alive. I don't need to know anything about your death. You burned that bridge before you even got to cross it."
Like, do
And
not
so when
make
I
me
woke up the
responsible for this.
yes, right. And so when I woke up the next morning, there was a ring in a little dish on the
Mhm.
dresser. And I brought this to my mother. I'm like, "Is this one of grandmother's rings?" And she was like, "No, that's one of your rings." I'm like, "No, it is not one of my rings. This is one of grandmother's rings." And she was like, "No, where did it come from?" And I told her I just found it in the morning on my desk. She's like, "No, it's not one of her rings. It must be one of yours." And I'm
How's
like,
she gonna try to gaslight you over a ring when you're like, "I
"Look,
would know if it's my ring."
look, look." Later that day, I heard her talking to my aunt saying, "Did you tell her that Alma's stuff was in her room?" And my aunt was like, "No, I would never tell her that." And I'm like, "This why."
Can't trust any of y'all.
Yeah. I'm like, I could smell her. Like, I could smell her stuff was here. And then she gave me that ring, and I'm like, just because you're trying to give me a ring doesn't mean I'm going to help you.
Yeah. Like,
I gave that
maybe
ring to
don't
my mama.
you get
I
to
was like,
help
"Here, this
now.
is not mine." Yeah. I'm like, "Here, this is not mine." So, yeah, so creepy stuff has happened. When I watch a scary movie and I get scared, like, there's a certain feeling about it. But when creepy stuff happens that other people would find really creepy or unsettling, I'm completely calm for it. And then later I'm like, "Oh, that was a little out of the ordinary."
Yeah. Like, for me, reading and watching stuff is one thing, but actually being out in it is something completely different. Like,
Mhm.
experiencing and feeling the dead is something I'm so used to now. It's like, certain cities I can't really go to because 'cause they're heavy. I have a
Mhm.
feeling New Orleans might be like that. I've never been, so I can't
Yes.
say for sure one way or the other, but I have a feeling that the city has a significant amount of dead people in it, so
Yes, it does. And it's on the water, which is like a conduit for the
yeah.
dead,
So I would only go, like, if I was with you to
which we should plan because it's going to be fun.
yeah, I mean, it would be fun, that's true. Give me a tour of the city.
A book that I read that freaked me out was House of Leaves. It freaked me out so bad I haven't completely finished it. I'm looking at it on my shelf right now going like, I should read this book. I should fuck with this book.
I have your copy on my shelf too, because you
Oh
lent
yeah,
it
I
to
got
me
another
ages
copy.
ago. Yeah, and I just never gave it back. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think, like, reading-wise, I'm trying to remember the last one that really fucked me up story-wise, because like, books tend to fuck me up more than movies do,
Mhm.
just because I feel more immersed maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, you can visualize that you're in it.
Yeah, that's why.
It's activating a different part of your brain.
Yeah, it was this one book about a house. I like the surrealist ones more, the ones that are, like, supernatural, but very, very surreal about it,
Mhm.
um, more so than, like, the ones that are just straight up, "Oh, there's a killer," because 'cause I'm like, there's a fucking killer,
Mhm.
who cares?"
Mm.
There has to be significant here, I wanna look at my finished books because I was
On your
Uh,
Goodreads? Are you on Goodreads?
I am not looking at my Goodreads. I'm looking on my Audible because it was an
Mm.
audiobook that I read. Um, though I will say The Haunting of Hill House was really good, um,
Mm-hmm.
by Shirley Jackson. I don't remember reading half these books. Did I block them out? What happened? Did
Yeah, that's the one I rented. I rented Mandy, The Void. Oh, I got
yeah,
My Fair Lady. When did I get that?
you should make sure to watch those. The Handyman by Bentley Little is
Mm-hmm.
fucked up, and it's about basically a house that is possessed. Like, the house itself is possessed.
Mm.
That one was really good and really, really creepy. Another one I liked that wasn't scary, but the premise of it is very scary, is called After On by Rob Reed. And
Mm-hmm.
it's basically the story of what would happen if Twitter became sentient and could
Ugh.
murder people.
Oh.
Yeah, basically Twitter became an AI and decided that, it could, end people who didn't like it. And it's about the main character trying to basically convince the AI to not murder all humans.
Wow.
Another one I highly recommend is Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. And that
Mm-hmm.
one is a mermaid story about
Mm-hmm.
mermaids being from the depths and enjoying eating people. And that
Hmm.
one is great because it has not only a sapphic love story, but it also has deaf representation because some of the characters are speaking in sign language the entire time, which
Oh,
is,
wow.
yeah, so that one's really good. Um, those were ones I read recently that were creepy. Trying to see. Honestly, I didn't find Horns that creepy by Joe Hill.
Horns. I didn't read Horns, but I saw the movie. Is that the one with Daniel Radcliffe in it?
Yes, yeah.
It was more psychological than horror for me.
Yeah, it wasn't horror. It was a little like it was a little creepy in that he changed a lot, but it was more like wanting him to get his revenge type of
Hmm.
thing. Same with The Girl with All the Gifts. That one's a zombie one, but that one didn't scare me at
I
all.
love that one.
Yeah, like the story itself is great. Um,
Hmm. I will say if you're a horror fan and you're trying to look for more horror to imbibe, there's this channel on YouTube called What Culture, and they have different recommendations for things, different recommendations for things. Like there's a What Culture Doctor Who or What Culture like music, but I've been following What Culture horror, and like they do give some spoilers for some of them, but it really helps me decide which movie that I want to see, and it gives me a whole listing of horror movies that I might not have regularly seen. Like I saw Society because I looked it up on what culture horror was like. This is a obscure movie you may like to see, and I was like, okay, let's check it out. And I was like, this shit is wild.
that shit is so fucked up. It's so like I love 80s horror because they just didn't give any shits. They were like, "We're
Yeah.
gonna make this as gross as humanly possible and as weird as humanly possible," and they just went
Mhm.
with it. They're like what was it? The Ooze? No, The Stuff. The Stuff is one of my favorites, and it is not like, I find it more funny than scary, but good lord, is it fun. It's just it's a ride the entire time, and it's basically about this ooze that they found in the ground, and they were like,
Mhm.
"Let's eat it."
Oh no, they didn't.
Yes, they did. It was glowing, and apparently it tastes like marshmallows or something. But like as the movie progressive and it progresses, anybody who was eating the stuff, which was like massively marketed, and they were trying to get it into everybody's household, and then all of a sudden people were only eating the stuff and they weren't eating anything else, and they were all like, "You have to eat the stuff. You have to eat it." and you find out that it's basically an alien entity that's taking over everyone's body,
Ugh.
and it's disgusting. And it's great because who was in it? Like, they had a bunch of famous people in it, and it's really funny, but also, like, just gross, which that's kind of what you want from your horror sometimes, is it just to be
Yes.
gross.
Just be a little gross to me. There's my favorite 80s horror movie, which I was looking up and just looked up. It's called The Gate, where
I love The Gate. The Gate is so good with, like, the little dudes, like, running around and trying to take over his house. Oh my god.
mm-hmm.
Oh, no, Garrett Morris. Garrett Morris is in the stuff.
Mm.
That's one of the reasons why it's so funny, because it's him and, another guy, like, basically being comedians the entire time. Because he was on SNL, he's a comedian.
All right, I'm gonna check that out.
Do. It's a Larry Cohen movie, so you know it's gonna be just absolutely unhinged. Oh, interesting. So Society was in '89, so it was almost a '90s movie.
Oh, really? It did not have that vibe at all.
It did not. It had full '80s
it
horror
it
vibe.
has, yeah. It does not have that vibe at all. Ooh, speaking of 80s vibes, I want to watch Lost Boys again.
Oh, I love Lost Boys so much. That one's so
Hmm.
good. That one's in my not creepy one. That one's in my top 5 vampire movies, though, and all
Hmm.
like, 3 out of 5 of my top 5 vampire movies are from the '80s. It's Lost Boys, The Hunger,
Mm.
and that one's more of a sexy one, so it's not really
Hmm.
horror, and then Vamp with Grace Jones. That one
I have
is
not seen Vamp.
You haven't? Oh my god.
I have not
Absolutely
seen
add that right
Vamp.
now.
I'm going. I'm
That
going.
like, just look at the cover and tell me it doesn't look delicious, because it's delicious, I promise. You
When
will
you said
not be
Vamp, I
disappointed.
immediately thought Vamps, which was this very cute ass movie. Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, this one goes hard because
I'm gonna
basically
rent that.
she's the vampire, and she, like, seduces everyone and then, like, murders them, and I'm, like, rooting for her to kill everyone. That's
I love it.
I'm like, "Yes,
I
bitch,
love
kill
it.
him. He deserves it."
I just put it on my to watch list. Yes.
'Cause she is so iconic. I will watch anything
She
with Grace Jones in
is.
it.
All right, cool. That is on my list. Yeah. So I used to be so scared of horror movies,
Same.
and something just shifted in me. I think after I almost died the first time, I was like, oh, I could watch horror movies now. Like, I have a new level of scared. Um, so I became able to watch horror movies, and I kind of love them.
I feel like I would have liked horror a lot sooner if it was not for my mom, because my mom was hyper religious and, like, basically drilled into me that horror movies are evil, and if you watch them, you are evil. But my dad didn't give a shit. So he was, like, watching all the Freddy Krueger movies, and he's like, "You could just watch them with me, it's fine." And I'm like, "No, that's evil, it's gonna make me evil." Because I was
Mhm.
already convinced I was a witch when I was a kid, so I was like, "I'm already going to hell because 'cause I'm a witch." And my
Mhm.
mom's like, "No, you're
Mm.
not, shut up." And I'm like, "Yes, I am, I promise." Turns out I was right. And ever since then, like, I've slowly just been catching up on all the horror that I missed as a kid, that I
Mhm.
should have watched that I didn't. And that's why I, like, love the '80s movies so much, because they were ones that, like, I could have been watching, but that I
Mhm.
didn't. And yeah. I still need to watch the things that are on my list right now that I need to watch this month for sure is Talk to Me, which you said is awesome,
Mm-hmm.
and, the Nick Cage Renfield movie
You know what?
because it looks hilarious.
I had so much hope for that movie, but Nicolas Cage is wonderful in that movie. Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Caging. But the script, terrible. Like,
Really? That's so disappointing.
you might find it different than me. Like, I found it to be like, you have these great actors, except for Aquafina. I hate her ass. I will never ever support Aquafina. Um, which is why I was adverse to watching the new Little Mermaid because she voiced Scuttle. Um, but I hate Aquafina as a person. Um,
I did not know you had that hatred for her.
yeah, cause she used black culture. She
Mhm,
appropriated black culture in order to get where she is by
mhm.
using the language and the attitude and everything. Like, she parodied black culture and got famous. And then once she got famous, she was like, I would never parody Asian culture because it's disrespectful. And I'm like, you've been doing it to black culture for years. That's how you made your bread and butter. That was your stepping ball. That was your stepping
Yeah.
stone. So I can't fucking stand Aquafina. I fast forward through her song in The Little Mermaid because when Lin Manuel Miranda had her rapping, and I'm like, no,
Mm.
no, Lin Manuel, no, no, don't do that. Um,
You should know better.
so yeah, so Renfield it was a terrible script. You had these brilliant actors, brilliant acting, and it was a terrible, terrible script. Like, there were parts of it that were so funny, but the rest of it was like, what am I watching and why? It felt like I watched this other movie called The Pastor. The something about the pastor Tyrannosaurus Rex was a priest, and he would
Oh,
turn into a T
I I
Rex.
I think I've actually heard of that one. I haven't seen it yet, though.
That one was hilarious in a way that I expected Renfield to be hilarious.
Mhm.
But man, it has some parts. Let me know what you think, because maybe seeing it through a different lens will help. But I felt like the script was awful. Like, they had a great premise. They had Nicolas Cage. They had your boy in it, who was so cute. Um, but yeah, terrible script. Terrible script. Absolutely horrendous script.
I will say I actually really enjoyed the recent Haunted Mansion movie. I'm, like, looking at a list of
Oh, I haven't
not
seen it
so
yet.
scary. It's super cute. Like,
I'll
I
put it on my
recommend that.
list. It's on Disney Plus, I think.
Yeah, it is. It just came out because they wanted to have it out for Halloween, I think. But then, looking through this list, I realized that, like, as a kid, again, more movies that I was absolutely obsessed with, like Escape to Witch Mountain, that 1975
That
one.
was
I
so
was
good.
obsessed with that one. It was amazing.
I wanted to see where they were going. I think there was a second movie
There
too.
is. There is a second movie.
Mhm.
But that one I don't really count as horror because it's like it's about aliens, so it's more sci-fi.
Mhm.
It seems like it's supernatural, but it's actually just aliens.
Mhm.
Though I wanna see the new Goosebumps show.
That's on Disney Plus too.
It is, yeah. I wanna watch it.
Mhm. Goosebumps. I was obsessed with Goosebump books
Do, do, do,
when
do,
I was a
do,
child.
do. Me too,
And
me
then there
too.
used to be that show on Nickelodeon called, it was like
Are you
Campfire Camp.
afraid of the dark?
Are you afraid of the dark?
Yes.
Yes. One of their things still messes me up to that day was the one with the washing machine or the dryer down in the basement, and like it was eating people, and he fed his little brother to it or some shit like that.
No, I recently rewatched all of them, and I don't that
Remember
wasn't a
that?
thing. No.
Oh, then what am I thinking about?
There was a significant basement one where the neighbors moved in, and it turned out that they were vampires,
Mm-hmm.
and she went to go see and, like, she was telling everybody, "No, they're vampires, we can't go be friends with them," and everybody's like, "No, be friends with them." And her little brother got taken to be a vampire in the basement, like, they
Oh,
ate him. So that may be the one that you're thinking of.
maybe because I haven't watched it since it came out.
Yeah, the one of those
Fr-
that fucked me up was the dollhouse one.
I don't remember that one. Where are you watching it on?
I think it was on Paramount.
You just reminded me of
Let me see where to watch.
you just reminded me of what's it called? Fright Night.
I loved Fright Night. Fright Night is so good. You afraid Yep, it's on Paramount. So, either
Okay, cool. I'm gonna check it out.
if you have a Paramount Plus, you'll be able to watch it. 7
I
seasons worth,
do.
so be prepared.
It went on for 7 seasons?
Yes, and there was, like, a plot line with the kids around the campfire too.
Mm.
Just keep in mind the show is Canadian, so
Babysitters Club, say
Right.
hello to your
Yeah,
friends.
no, I remember when I first saw that that was on there on Paramount, that one and Clarissa Explains It All, I just, like, did a rewatch of both of them, and that reminds me of that I saw
Oh
a
my
meme where they
God,
were
are
like,
you afraid
"Clarissa
of the
didn't explain
dark?
any of this," and I'm
No,
like,
she did not.
"Yeah."
She didn't explain shit.
So,
Oh my
there
God.
are, like, I think 5 regular seasons, and then they have movies. They have Are You Afraid of the Dark movies that are, like,
I'm just seeing that.
with this random hot guy in a circus for no reason.
I'm adding it.
10 out of 10 recommend Are You Afraid of the Dark. Honestly,
Submitted for your approval.
while I love the theme for Goosebumps, like, the theme for Are You Afraid of the Dark sends me every time. I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they slapped for no reason, these kid show themes.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, my favorite kids show theme for a show, I have two of them. One of them is Darkwing Duck.
That one's
Um,
good.
and
Of the
then there's
trio with Darkwing Duck, Rescue Rangers, and DuckTales,
mm-hmm,
I think DuckTales was my favorite,
mm-hmm.
but Darkwing Duck was really good.
Darkwing Duck was awesome. When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous.
Dangerous, yeah.
I loved it. I loved it.
Disney Plus has everything now, though.
It does. Since they
Like,
merged with,
yeah, they bought everybody, that's why.
they did.
They also have been getting anime. So, like,
Disney Plus?
season 2 of Tokyo Revengers is on either Hulu or Disney Plus. It's not on, Crunchyroll. So when we
What?
get season 2, we gotta switch services.
What?
Yeah.
All right then. I'm ready slash not ready for it. Oh, you know what we should talk about next time?
Mm,
We should talk about our magical practices around like this season.
okay. I won't have much to say about that because I don't do anything. I don't honor my dead, I've realized. I should
Mm,
probably look into doing that, but I don't. Yeah. But so something kind of weird is one of my grandmothers, I have not been able to acknowledge her death because
mm.
every time she comes to visit me in a dream, she thinks she's alive. And
Oh, that's rough.
yeah, the last time that we were in the dream, I was like, "She's dead. Does she not know?" And my mom was like, "Do not tell her that." And I was like, "Okay." Always listen to things when people tell you them in dreams.
Mhm.
So I was like, I guess I'm not allowed to acknowledge the fact that she's dead to her in the dreams. But I remember very distinctly getting a dream before she died or when she died telling me that she was dead. She like came to me and said, I'm dying or I'm dead.
Mhm.
And then I woke up the next day and mom told me and I was upset, but I was like, I knew it. But I couldn't tell my mom that at the time because she was like super upset, obviously. But I distinctly remember that I had a dream before she died of her dying. It's pleasant.
It's my 3 o'clock pill alarm, but I already took it.
Okay, good. That actually reminds me. So one of my friends who I send voice messages to, she'll send me them in the morning for her, which is like midnight my time because she's in England. And her alarm is Gojo saying, "Oi, oi, oi, Nanami, oi, oi, oi." And it is
Oh my god, great.
and I'm like, that is such a pleasant alarm. Meanwhile, mine's going off with the normal Samsung song. I'm like, I need to figure out a way to make my alarm do something more fun
Mhm.
because that's such a fun alarm to wake up to.
My alarm is basket case. Do you have the time to
To
listen to
listen
me?
to me.
Why?
That's that's pretty great too.
Mhm.
uh, yeah. Now I'm just
My
thinking of all the
ringtone is a trap version of Lord of the Rings.
okay, that's amazing. I want to hear it.
Mhm.
Should I call you? No, I'm kidding.
I can send it to you.
Yeah, please, because I want to hear
Mhm.
it. That sounds really cool.
Mhm.
Um, but man, it's getting cold here, which is why I'm wearing a sweater. It's like
Mhm.
in the low, it's 56. It's 56
Oh,
outside.
is that like normal for y'all for this time of year?
Fairly normal. Yeah, we have a low of 47 tonight. Um,
Mm.
I don't like it when it's cold though.
No.
It's okay. It is okay. Everything's fine. Stupid winter being wintry.
Mhm.
But that reminded me because like the Halloween had different vibes in the different places that I've lived. And
Mhm.
it was because of how the season comes in.
Mhm.
Because, like, in Texas, when I lived in Corpus Christi, it was like the rainy season. So it would just rain a bunch. It wouldn't actually get cold, and you couldn't really feel the season come in. But when I lived in Illinois, it would get hella cold, and you could smell fall happen, for lack of a better way to
Mhm.
put it. In California, I could smell fall a little bit, but it's more distinct in the Midwest, I feel like, because of the fact that it actually does get cold. So you've got like all the leaves dying, and the leaves dying have a distinct smell, and people burning leaves has a distinct smell, and all of that stuff. So, like, it felt like Halloween time was coming. Oh, speaking of, I need to get the rest of my costume together.
What's your costume this year?
It's gonna be a surprise. I wanna test it out, before Halloween, and I'll show you.
Okay. That's exciting. Okay.
I am also excited about it. But, yeah, like, media-wise, for me, the scary ones that I find are more the people ones. I find people
Explain that.
far I find people far scarier than, like, ghosts and goblins and things like that. Monsters do not
Mm.
scare me, people scare me. So,
Mhm.
like, the ones that are actually about murders fuck me up way more than,
Oh
like,
my god.
the
There was the
ghostly,
one with
creepy movies.
Elijah Woods in a mannequin shop.
I know the one you're talking about, because that's actually a remake of a horror movie from the, 70s
Mhm.
that they remade, and it was, like, a retelling of I wanna say it was a true story of a
Mhm.
serial killer. So, yeah, the serial killer ones fuck me up. I can't do them. Oh, The Cell. The Cell was one of the ones that I really loved from high school. Do you remember that one?
I remember the style. It had
Like
J Lo
Jennifer
in it.
Yeah, it had Jennifer Lopez and Vincent D'Onofrio was the baddie,
Oh, he
and
was such a good baddie. Like I'm
he
like,
was
I'm not
so
supposed to
good.
be sexually attracted to you. You're evil.
But the visuals inside his dream, oh my
Oh, it
god,
was
that was
gorgeous.
so impactful on me as a impressionable teenager. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that informed my aesthetic for years to come because I still just I love anything surrealistic, and it was so surrealistic. Turning a lamp on because I'm in the dark because it is fall and in the Midwest and it's cold and dark outside. Anyway, but yeah, that was good times. Good times. I love horror movies. I've more recently loved horror movies. Like I said, when I was a kid, I was scared of everything. It was also because of my dreams. So I've had like I used to have night terrors when I was a kid. I
Mm-hmm.
have a very distinctive memory of me when I was like 4 or 5 refusing to eat pizza because I had a dream that there was a machine that ground up people to make pizza sauce.
Oh,
And
ooh.
so like I refused to eat pizza because it was made out of people in my head, and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to eat people. And like of course my mom's like don't be stupid, it's not made out of people, but like to my mind that made perfect sense because I saw it
Mm-hmm.
happen in a dream, you know what I mean? And another very distinctive dream that I had that like scared me at the time, but looking back I'm like god damn I was creative. So
Mm-hmm.
I dreamt this was when I was 7 because I can still remember dreams from when I was 7 because I'm messed up in the head. But anyway, um, and I dreamt of going to an amusement park,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a tram there, and going past the tram were all of these, like, Easter Island head things, and then to get into the park, you had to hold on to a bar and it would lower you down, but mine dropped me. So then
Oh no.
I did an instant reset in my dream where, like, I was back at the top again and could try again because for some reason I died a lot in my dreams, so my dreams
Mm-hmm.
have an automatic mechanism when I die to just reset to the last save point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I went down again, and the first place that we went to was a haunted house, but it wasn't a haunted house, it was just a normal house that had all the lights off. And when you walked through it, you got to the kitchen. And when you were in the kitchen, there was just a guy beating a cat with a tennis racket.
Oh no.
And I like freaked the fuck out in my dream and decided I need to find my parents right now. Like I'm scared. And so I ran to where my parents were in the cafeteria area. But in the cafeteria area, in the, like, meat station, you know how they have, like, a meat carving area in most
Mm-hmm.
cafeterias? The side of turkey had a human face on the flat
Ooh.
side that was being cut, and it screamed every time that he cut a slice off. And in the middle, there was this giant box that had, like, a multi-armed Buddha figure in it, and I found my mom and, like, started telling her that, like, I was freaking out because this place was weird, and she was like, "Don't worry, they're holograms. They can't hurt you." And I was like, "'Kay." And then I woke up and went back to sleep, and I dreamt that I was reading a book by my Winnie the Pooh nightlight because I had a Winnie the Pooh nightlight that made everything orange in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and I dreamt that I was reading a book by that, and then I went back to sleep. And when I went back to sleep, I was at a different amusement park with my dad this time, and everything was in black and white. And we were wandering around and going to different rides, and one of the rides wasn't a ride, but it was a movie. And inside, the screen kept rotating, so it was like a
Mm-hmm.
rotating theater. And on the first screen, it was a cat chasing a mouse. And on the next screen that came up, it was just the cat smiling, and the only color in the entire scene was all of the red across its mouth because it had eaten the mouse. And
Wow. You dream in Cronenberg. Like,
Yeah. Apparently, so, like, I was just kind of generally scared of everything as a kid, but I also
mhm.
sought out things that scared me on purpose. Like, I loved those Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books with those fucked up
Mhm.
pencil illustrations that I still to this day love because they are so fucked up. Like, I'm like,
Mhm.
"How did I read this as a child?"
They had those sections in like this children's magazine that I used to read, highlights, and they had those sections in there with the drawings, and I'm like, and as an adult looking back on them, I'm like, how did they let this go? How did they let
Right?
us read and look at this horrifying shit? Like shit was horrifying. Those
Like,
drawings were nightmare fuel.
I will say the recent movie of Are You Af like, the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Mhm.
Excellent job. 10 out of 10. The
Mhm.
especially the part in the hospital where that guy was being chased by the hugging woman,
Mhm.
they made that illustration come to life.
Mhm.
And the spiders coming out of the face, that was
Yes.
really well done too. Um, yeah, that whole movie. The scarecrow as well. Like,
Yeah.
so many so much it yeah, that one, it was real well done. I would say 10 out of 10 for that. I didn't find it scary, but, like, it unlocked a lot of memories that I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot about that."
Mhm.
But yeah, I was obsessed with those books. I was obsessed with, Goosebumps, and my mom would just stay mad at me because she's like, "You know these things scare you. Why do you keep seeking them out?" And I was like, "I don't know, because I like them." And she's like, "Why do you like them if they scare you so much?" And I'm like, "I don't know, I just do."
Let me tell you, when I am sad or depressed, the first thing I go to is a horror movie. And I think part of me is like, because it's like my life is stressful, but like watching people be stressed out in a horror movie, I'm like, this isn't so, this isn't so bad. This isn't so bad. Like they're stressed out. I'm stressed out. Let's be stressed out together.
Yeah.
So I didn't used to seek out horror movies because most of the horror movies I thought of as horror movies had possessions or aliens in them. Like I don't
Mm.
fuck with aliens. I don't fuck with aliens because I don't know what I'm gonna get with a fucking alien. Like I don't know how they're alien. Like they're like aliens is different. Like aliens, the xenomorphs,
Mhm.
whatever. Those are different for me. But
I think
movies
that's because they're a known quantity. Like, yes, they're a monster, but they're a very specific type of monster that has specific rules around how it functions.
mhm.
But a lot of the other
Same
alien
with
movies.
Predator.
Yeah, especially if the aliens are coming to Earth for any reason, like, you don't know why they're there or what they're going to
Mm,
do. Like, I
alien
want
abduction, just not something I wanna fuck with. Mm-mm.
in this economy? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, here's my ringtone.
Oh, it's not coming through entirely, but it sounds cool.
Ah.
Okay, I really like that, I need to find it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's like dun dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun.
Pch, pch.
Yeah, that's
They're
awesome.
trying to get me to refill my medication. I'm like, I don't take that medication no more. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh my god, yeah. The they do that to me too. They've, like, tried to refill my inhaler, like, 5 times, and I'm like, "I didn't set this to auto refill. I only need 1, like, every 6 months. I don't need you to continuously try to give me an I don't need it that often. Please
Mhm.
calm down."
Mhm. Mhm.
I would rather it be there when I need it, so for the other refill, don't j put the one back in refill. Don't try to refill and then, like, abandon me, please.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
I have asthma. I need to use it sometimes, but not all the time, because I
Mhm.
don't have a severe case, but I have enough of a case that I need it when I need it, so help me
Mhm.
out. Help me help me.
Mhm. I
But yeah.
have aliens and I used to be like not able to watch alien movies and possession movies. Cause again, Catholic. And I wanted but at
Mhm.
the same time, I wanted to be an exorcist.
Yeah, that's a little counterintuitive that you can't watch possessive movies, but you wanted to be an ex I heard the Exorcist movie that came out recently was really good, though. Like, it seems more like an
Hmm.
action movie than like a horror movie because it
Okay,
was,
I might
like,
check it out. I might check it out.
not fully about possession, it was more about, like, a ritual that, like, pulled just
Hmm.
like he was I will admit, I love any media with witches. I don't care if they're portrayed as super evil. I love it. Like the original Witches from Roald Dahl,
Hmm. Hmm.
like from the '80s, that movie fucked me up so bad as a kid, but I was obsessed. Angelica Houston as
Oh,
the head
perfection.
she was disgusting. I loved it. That was that was so fucked up. I loved it so much.
Hmm.
So, yeah, because like, I know a lot of people, like, get on their high horse about, "Oh, no, it portrays witches poorly, blah, yada." I'm like, "Bitch, it's fun."
Hmm.
I love that one, I love Hocus Pocus, I love anything that just has witches in it. It makes me
Hmm.
happy, makes me real
Have you
happy.
seen The Witch?
I haven't because I found it boring. I started watching it and I was like, "Oh, it."
It is a slow burn. It's very much a
Yeah.
slow burn.
That's like I can't watch the Exorcist, the original one either because I find it very boring.
Mm.
I'm
Mm.
like, "Y just can you just get her possessed already?" But then I found out that the actress actually broke her back during the filming of it, and they just kept filming. The back and forth scene where she's like that, they had her rigged up to this, like, wooden board basically, and were forcing her back and forth. She broke her back on that board during that scene,
Oh my
and
God.
like, the take that they used was the take that broke her back. So, like
Oh my God.
and because they didn't get her help immediately, because they were filming, like, she has long-term chronic back issues because of it.
That is
Yeah.
terrible.
No, it's absolutely horrific, like,
There was a
finding
lot of stuff that happened with that filming that was like out of control.
they didn't regulate very well in the '70s specifically, because I remember, so The Shining, I love The Shining, but, like, uh, Shelley Duvall never recovered from that. She was
No, she didn't. He was
massively
horrible to
abused,
her.
and
Yeah.
she literally never recovered from the filming of that movie, and now she's, like, super crazy, which is unfortunate.
I used to love her in the fairy tale series where she's like,
Yes,
"Hi, I'm Shelley Duvall,
that was my
and
favorite,
today." Mhm.
'cause they didn't really care about those, they, like, had really good actors in those too, like, they had Robin Williams in The Frog Prince, and
They did.
they had all the famous actors in there. I didn't realize that Lawrence Fishburne was in the 3rd Freddy Krueger movie. He plays an orderly.
What?
Yeah. He was as Larry Fishburne. It was back when he went by Larry.
Larry instead of Lawrence.
Larry.
I can't imagine the Matrix with Larry Fishburne. It's like Larry,
Right?
Lawrence. His wife is so hot,
Is she? Who
Gina
was his
Torres.
Oh, oh. Yeah, she's super hot.
Yeah, that's his wife.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's his wife.
Yeah, she's
On Firefly, when the guy who played Wash was talking about would be on set being like, "Yeah, that's my wife, that's my wife, that's my wife." And
Mhm.
then one day, Lawrence Fishburne came to set, and it was while he was yoked up from The Matrix, and, and he was like, "Yeah, that's your wife. That's your wife." And they're filming an in bed scene, and he was on set. He's like, "I was sweating. I was sweating." And so
That's
I
so
have to
funny.
watch this series that Gina Torres was in, Cleopatra 2525 or some shit like that.
Yes, we were talking about that last time.
Yes, I gotta watch it. I thought it was hilarious because she also plays Cleopatra and Xena. So I'm like, this is. This is amazing.
Alan Tudyk. He does a lot
Alan
of really
Tudyk.
good voice work too.
He
And
does. I have a mild crush on him.
he's very funny, so that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yes, right? I love Goofy. I love
You
Goofy.
do. You love Goofy. Oh,
That's my
man.
type. That's my type. That's my type. Well,
If there
I have to go get food into my system. So, like,
that sounds like a plan. I have to not eat for another half hour and then another hour after because the penicillin I'm on for the strep throat has to be taken on an empty stomach. And
mm,
I have been very strict with myself about that. So, like, I had coffee at the beginning of this, so I have to wait another half hour before I have um, my medicine because you have to wait 2 to 3 hours after eating. And if you take the meds, you have to wait another hour until you can eat. So it has really fucked up my eating schedule. I'm not gonna lie.
mm,
Because like I have to make sure that I'm taking 3 pills a day and I have to spread them out in a way where I can still consume food. And
mm-hmm.
it's been a struggle a little bit for me
Yeah.
because like, I have usual times, but I'm more of a grazer. I would prefer snacking throughout the day than having, like, a meal, and
Mm-hmm.
it really fucks up my, schedule for snacking because I can't snack before having the meds. I gotta wait till I have the meds, and then it's too late to snack after I have the meds and I have to wait an hour, so I'm like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, this
Oh,
sucks."
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Only 7 more days, so
Mm-hmm. Mm.
yeah. I've been on it long enough I'm not contagious, but, like, I still have to finish the whole bottle of pills, so
Yeah.
we'll see. So I gotta wait a half hour, take the pill, and wait an hour, and I can have the rest of my dinner. Because I brought the rest of the ramen home because I couldn't finish it in the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Delicious,
really good,
delicious
though.
ramen. Mm-hmm.
Menma's my favorite, I realized. Menma's the, like, pickled bamboo shoots.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking good. I love them so much. Delicious. But anyway, we got in a good 2 hours today talking about
We
horror movies and
did.
anime, which is
We did.
good. That was a good time.
Yes, it was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much. And I'm looking forward to watching more Tokyo Revengers with you this Tuesday.
I was like, "Are you?" 'Cause I am nervous about what's
No,
gonna
I
happen
I
next.
need to know what the fuck is going on. So I am like
True,
here for
because
it.
we don't know who knows what or, like, what they're gonna do and how are these kids surviving in this world that they've
Part of me is
kind of.
like, where the fuck are their parents?
That's a really good point. I
Where
mean,
the fuck are their parents? They probably
Takamichi
all have
obviously lives at
issues.
home. Yeah, I mean, they have to.
Takamichi and his friends seem like they would have a normal household.
I know, they seem like totally normal kids except for the fact that they're, like, hanging out with a gang.
Yeah. Yeah, and Takamichi has to remember, oh yeah, I wasn't even part of the gang
Yeah,
at that point. I wasn't even.
like, he's fucking shit up and not part of the gang. That's why I feel like that's why Mikey was like, "Okay, you're in Division 2. You you keep
Mhm.
stepping in where you're not supposed to be stepping in, and I know it's my fault for inviting you places, so you're just part of us now."
Mhm.
But I'm glad he put him under Mitsuya because I think Mitsuya is a good character. The silver-haired
Mhm.
guy, I
Yeah.
think he's a good guy, so I think that they'll get along well.
Mhm.
Ah, poor Chifuyu though. The
Yeah.
second in command under Baji. He's so messed up now because of
He
Baji.
is.
But we'll have more to watch.
We'll have more to watch. We'll watch it on Tuesday. So, like, if you were to leave anybody with anything after this episode, what would it be?
My advice to people is that if you are scared of something, and this is something that I did to myself when I was uh, 10, 15 years ago, I was really scared of gore for the longest time, and I could not watch horror movies that involved especially gut related gore. And I didn't like that because I really wanted to watch horror movies. Like that was something that I really wanted for myself because I knew that I would like them if I could just get over being scared of that. So for an entire summer, I watched nothing but the goriest shit I could find. And I basically trained myself to be okay with it, and then I could watch horror movies after. So sometimes exposure therapy does actually work, but it depends on what you're scared of and why you're scared of what you're scared of. So it wasn't that gut trauma was a trigger for me, it was just I found it disgusting and didn't want to see it. But by seeing it a bunch, especially the Masters of Horror, it was a series on Showtime, and it was really good because they basically got the best horror directors, gave them an hour, and said, "Do whatever the fuck you want. Here's money."
Mm.
And so the entire series is like ultra high quality with like some of the best horror directors you've ever seen. And some of the stories are just fucked up. And since it was on Showtime, there was like nudity. They didn't care about the gore. So they were like super gory. Some of them were sexy for no reason. It was fantastic. Like 10 out of 10 for all of them. Um, but yeah, so like I watched that entire series, gore and all, and it got me to the point that I could watch. So like if there's something that you want to do, there are ways to figure out how to do it. You just gotta get some gumption together.
Some
But
support.
only if you want to. So if you don't want to watch horror and people are trying to pressure you to watch horror, tell them to fuck off. But if you want to watch horror, but like there's certain things that you're like, oh, I can't, it's gonna scare me too badly. Do it. Just do it until you're not scared.
For me, it would be like, look, if there's something you're interested in, like, use tools to find more of the stuff you're interested in. So like for me, like I mentioned earlier, it's YouTube. Like I
Mhm.
will watch videos on horror movies. I will watch videos recommending horror movies. Like some horror movies I've seen, like not because I've seen the whole movie, but because I watched recaps of them.
Mhm.
Which has been really fun because
You do
I
that with
watched a
anime too,
recap.
don't you?
I watch anime recaps too. And what it does is it doesn't, for me, it doesn't spoil it for me. For me, it's like, oh, I want to know more, so I want to see more of it, so I want to get all the nuance of it and stuff like that.
It's like an appetizer. It gets
It
you
is. It's like an appetizer. And also when I watch it, I'm not as scared as when I watch the movie itself because I'm like, oh, I know this, and this is coming, or this is happening in the story, and blah blah blah, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's a good
So
point.
like, mhm.
Yeah.
So like if you're digging something or you're into it, like find spaces where you can find out more about it, which may seem like a duh, but sometimes we wait for information to come to us.
Mhm.
But we can totally seek it out. And also if you're into reading scary books, read House of Leaves. Book is just fucking
Which
ridiculous.
we should read together, I think.
Yes. That book
Since
is
we both have a
ridiculous.
copy that are yours. Mine's on my shelf back there. I can see it from here actually.
Mine's right in front of me. I can see it from where I'm sitting too. So, yeah, so enjoy your spooky season, y'all, and engage in stuff that you want to engage with, and don't engage in stuff you don't want to engage with.
Exactly.
Um, but I'm hoping you have a spooky, creepy time in all the good ways. Go apple picking, go to a pumpkin patch, like get warm and cozy, have a nice blanket, dress up in a costume if you want to dress up in a costume, and just enjoy yourself and get in touch with that childhood like joy of the season too. Um,
If you need to read Goosebumps.
yes. Read Goosebumps. Love Goosebumps. Love
Love
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps so much.
All
Yeah.
right, friend. Well, this has been Witchy Shit and Manga Lit with Cartabus and Rawiyah, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.